Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 140 today and we have got a massive tie on our hands. We face Bordeaux in the Europa League first knockout round. We'll be showing both legs in this one today. But also, over in the Europa Conference, TNS are in action against Bundesliga side Mainz in the same round in that competition too. Two teams in the knockout rounds in Europe. It is an incredible, massive achievement for this football club and this nation. Of course, we're still on for a perfect record in the league with just 7 games to go as well. There's so much excitement around. And I've got a slightly hoarse voice as well, so we can enjoy seeing if that makes it to the end of the episode. If you're looking forward to all of that though, and seeing if we can get through to the last 16 on Nemesis round yet again, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content every weekday from this series with some specials at the weekend. And please do give us a follow on Twitch. We've got loads of watch along live streams there. And also in the eye above, you can find a football podcast. Thank you so much for the support at the start of this season. It's been our best ever spell. We're really looking forward to the new year. But let's start by having a look at our schedule with Bangor City. You left off at the end of the transfer window, just the 3 games since then. Swansea University came up first. It was a 4-0 victory in that one. We were 3-0 up pretty early doors, but then Swansea Uni got the red card and they just sat so deep second half. Made it very hard to break them down. Stefan Matai did just that though before getting injured. Goulding got 2 and McKinnon 1 as well. Then back-to-back 2-0 wins as we become the picture of efficiency. Yet to concede a goal in 2035. I'm sure that'll change in the Europa League. But against Cardiff Met Uni 2-0, McKinnon and Bulkley either side at half-time. Then away at Barla Town it was Kane Waters with a brace. Again, 1 coming in each half. But us and TNS in European action today. If we have a look at them, I think they've got everyone fit near enough. Just a couple of backup players and Aidan McNamara, who will probably be the biggest miss for them out. If we have a look at the schedule, they're in decent form themselves. Albeit they lost at Barry last weekend, they were resting a few for Mainz away. So hopefully they keep the score down, but a fabulous achievement regardless. So let's go and get into the first one. Bangor City v Bordeaux. A tough opposition, maybe still beatable. If we go and have a look at their side, they've got a couple of key players who are a bit younger, who are a bit higher quality. Of course, we're now a 3-star reputation side. We're only half a star behind this lot. They've got secure finances and they've got a good star player. But not brilliant. He's probably better than our left back, but if he was at right back, he wouldn't be ahead of McDonald. And if we have a look at the rest of their first team, actually a significant portion of it is very, very experienced. Now that can go one of 2 ways. We've seen it in this game. The 30-year-olds we're not so worried about. They're pretty good, albeit it's a striker that can't finish and a winger that can't cross. They play a different way. What we have got though is a lot of big experience. Claudio Gomez, at 34 now, just running out a little bit physically. Maybe on the road we can catch them out. Jonathan Panzo, experienced centre-half from England, again, physically over the hill. Larucci, now 34 years of age, again, not got the stamina. So it is an opportunity for us, potentially, to cause a few problems for this Bordeaux side, particularly late on in matches. And I'll be interested to see if we can do it today. We've gone for a young side, we've gone for a quite physical side, and we've actually planned our team a little bit around that. If we go and have a look at the tactical meeting, there's a couple of players recommended that I haven't picked. So Tom Jones, the regular number 10. This year we've worked him in alongside Bulkley a lot of the time. But if we have a look at his attributes, Jones, while he's relatively quick overall, he's not the most physical, he's not got the best stamina, he's not the strongest. Chris Broom, on the other hand, is made to be physical and mentally strong. He's determined, he's exceptional on the ball, he's a great passer as well, and he's good carrying the ball. The dribbling stat is something I'm very interested in. Kyo Bulkley, he's very good. We can't leave him out whatsoever. But the rest of the team, we've gone for the quick lads up front, we've gone for the quicker centre-halves, and even if Matai had been fit, we've gone for the quicker left-back. So you could argue I'm relying on physicality and the age advantage today. Let's find out if it works as we go in with our first 11. It's Roberto Simancas in goal, McDonald and Weaver the fullbacks with Kelly and Whittaker at centre-half. Lloyd, Broom, Reyes and Bulkley the midfield diamond. Walters and Goulding goals galore up front. Sron back to fitness on the bench, but the likes of Jones, McKinnon, Loza give us so many options there. We've got great attacking depth. And today we get to find out if we can take advantage of it. I've got a couple of potential signings for the summer to introduce to you in between the games as well. But this is Bangor City v Bordeaux. And a home lead with a clean sheet would be very much appreciated. Away goals still a factor in FM. Okay, so the skipper is the winger. I mean, they've got a lot of good quality in the side. There's no doubt in that. But I'm just hoping if they have got a League 1 game at the weekend, obviously it's not a league we've got loaded, but they would have football. It's got to affect the fatigue. It's got to affect their physicality for the second leg. Surely we can just wear them down here. And the fact I'm going into a game against Bordeaux as Bangor City and saying, I think we could probably win this over the 2 legs. I mean, that's the perfect description of how far we've come. We're getting into the first leg. It's a big game at the racecourse. If we can reach the last 16 again, we add to Wales's best ever coefficient year yet further. Though early doors, it's Bordeaux with the corner. Gomez into Panzo. And in just the 4th minute, when we finally talked up our potential against a good side, we have had a big kick in the backside very early doors. 1-0 Bordeaux, they've been a better team as well. Let's drop to balanced here because we're getting overrun a tad. And I don't want to get caught out and be 2 or 3 down here. If we get away from home with a draw or a narrow victory, we've got an opportunity. And Bulkley's got a free kick at the other end to Reyes. Back to Bulkley again, left side of the box. Oh, I thought we might be going to VAR there. Bulkley went down but didn't quite get the opportunity to appeal as Weaver gives it back to Lloyd again. Chris Broom picks it up on the left-hand side to Weaver. He's got options, but none of them really out wide or down the line. He's going to have to do that side himself. Goes back to Jerome Kelly. Into Harvey Lloyd. Kelly again. Not really going anywhere, but the first proper concerted spell of possession we've seen in a highlight. As Weaver delivers, Walters is there. That is a wonderful first-time finish. He's catching Lloyd Goulding now. He's on 32, just 3 behind. But the way he arced that, the way he got ahead of his man and just guided it towards the far post. An awful lot for Bangor City to enjoy there. And we've got another corner now with Bulkley into Whittaker. And we have found our form. We've found our confidence. And we're starting to look very special. 2-1 Bangor City. Now let's go and give them a fright. Another set piece on the left-hand side is becoming a key factor in this first half. And Matty Whittaker. What a header that is. The first one was pretty regulation, albeit well directed. That one was an absolute rocket back across goal into the corner. And now our centre-half's on a hat-trick. This is an incredible turn-up for the books with 10 minutes to the break. After the early scare, we've got back to 3-1. And dropping to balanced has really worked a treat for us. We've just sort of forced them on and countered them. And that is the score at half-time. 3-1 to Bangor City. Whittaker's 2 goals, an expected goal rate of 0.11. That shows how good the headers were. Particularly the second one was just lovely. Into the second half we go. It's looking very promising so far. Of course, Bordeaux playing pretty narrow as well. Tucking in their wingers, and they're getting a few set pieces. As Gomez delivers, Whittaker heads away. Doing his job in his proper box as well defensively. Goulding runs away on the break. It's a 3-on-3. Got Bulkley in support in the middle. Walters getting up there too. In the middle is Bulkley. Drops down to Reyes. And we are now dismantling Bordeaux. Remember that tie a couple of years ago where we beat Shakhtar Donetsk. Was it 10-0 in the end? 9-0, 10-0, something ridiculous. And now we're doing it against Bordeaux. Yes, they've got the away goal, but one more and you'd argue this is tie over. As Richard takes the goal kick, it goes straight to Kai McDonald. And just as we predicted in the second half, we're starting to wear them down. Richard gets there first. It's a good run from Goulding, but it just had too much on the pass. Long ball forward is cleared by Whittaker. Chipped inside again, but Reyes gets there first. Goulding releases Walters. He skinned the centre half. And his shot's just wide of the post. But we are carving them open at will. And this could be any score we wanted to at this point. We've just got to get our shooting boots on. 20 minutes to go. We're going to make some changes. I'm not going to worry about the tired legs so much because I do know that we can rest everyone at the weekend. But I'm going to take off Chris Broom because he's the one that we weren't sure about starting. He's not the fittest anyway. I'm going to bring on Tom Jones for him, drop Bulkley into the middle. I'm tempted to bring Strom on, but I'm not going to. He'll start at the weekend. And then up front, do I make the 2 changes? Let's do it. They've not had the best game, Goulding and Walters. So Loza and McKinnon get 20 against Bordeaux. And if they can get a 5th between them, they'll have done their job. Let's hope they can. 7 minutes to go. It's calmed down a bit now as Bulkley's got a corner kick on the right-hand side. Outswinger doesn't beat the first man, but it falls for him again. Gives it short to Ruben Reyes. That's a lovely dink in. Panzo beats Loza in the air. Again, only as far as Weaver though. We're camped in their final third. Weaver gets to the byline. 4, 5 in the middle. Tom Jones is one of them. He got a rest today because we wanted the experience, we wanted the stamina, and we wanted the ball carrying ability of Chris Broom. But Tom Jones pops up in the right place And it's another one of our former youth intake stars who gives us a 5-1 first leg lead. And now we're trying to put real gloss on it. Kelly gets the ball to Weaver on the left. We're about to head into 2 minutes of stoppage time. Bulkley picks it up to Kelly. We're just keeping the ball nicely here. Bar that first few minutes and the set pieces they had right at the start, we've not looked under any threat whatsoever in this game. As McDonald plays to Reyes, who loses out in a tackle, still somehow comes out with the ball first. Switches it to Weaver. 2 men in the middle. Jones up in support with them. It's a 4-on-4 here. Weaver's ball across. Oh, how did no one get a foot on that? McKinnon just not willing to throw himself at it. Loza and Jones halted their runs. And unfortunately, that's cost us a 6th goal here. As Weaver throws into Bulkley on the left-hand side. Takes on the fullback again. He's pushing them back well here. Bulkley plays another 1-2 with him. Weaver back inside. Bulkley causing all sorts of chaos. In towards Kresimir Loza. And with virtually an open goal, the keeper had already passed the ball. He's headed over the bar from 4 or 5 yards. It's not good enough from Loza. And unfortunately, we've had 2 or 3 great chances to make it 6 or 7. And without that, if we do somehow lose the second leg, we've got no defence at all. As Kelly plays short to Weaver, the left back. Just 10 seconds left. I can't see us getting another good chance here. So maybe just seeing out time, playing confidently. Weaver picks it on the left. The final whistle does go. It's a really good performance in truth. A little disappointed with the set piece early on, but some great headers from Whittaker, some great counter-attacking football, and a thoroughly enjoyable display. Let's go and see what the TNS score was, play our game at the weekend in the Welsh Premier League, and fingers crossed we keep our perfect record intact before returning for our trip to France. I'll see you in a moment. Well, I am pretty blown away at this point by the exploits of TNS in the Europa Conference. A 2-2 draw away in Germany, a late equaliser from Jonathan Norman, and loads of yellow cards. Get them a result on the road, and although it's not a point in terms of a league table, it is certainly coefficient points in the bag for Wales, and these ones are unexpected. I'm guessing based on the yellow cards, based on the score, they'll probably get battered in the second leg. But that's pretty irrelevant now. They've done something ridiculous. Mainz were dominant, but not hugely. I mean, TNS have got something going for them there. A really good season for them. And most importantly, a bit like us when we had our first couple of runs. This is going to make a massive difference to them next season. They're going to be seeded in every round of qualifying. And they're going to be in the Champions League as well. It's going to make a massive difference. Can't wait to see how that pans out. In the meantime, though, we've managed to get another win in the league and wrap up yet another early title. Of course, TNS, without that European run, ironically, probably would have run us a bit closer this season domestically. But as it is, fixture congestion, European exploits come first and are more important for TNS. We won 2-0 against Barrytown United. Mackenzie and McKinnon with early goals there. If we look at the league table now, I think Barry are settling for 6th. They're not making that top 4, are they? So they're in for the final qualifying spot via the European playoff. And really, looking at the teams there, we need them to be the ones that qualify for it. I guess the benefit of Bala finishing 4th is they will probably be able to turn pro. And this league is getting very close to looking exceptional in a couple of years' time. Let's get into our game though, the second leg against Bordeaux. Hopefully it'll be followed by a big last 16 tie. Let's change the team back, let's go and have a look at the lineup and head away to France for the second leg. Well, after making a big impact off the bench in the first leg, Tom Jones does come back into the starting 11. Chris Broom drops out for him. The rest of the 11's the same. It is all changed from the weekend against Barrytown United. We're strong, we're 5-1 up on aggregate. Surely it can't go wrong, can it? A very similar squad then as we get into the second leg. And I tell you what I'm more worried about doing at the moment. Rather than even watching this game, if we go and get into it, let's go and have a look at the latest scores. Where the formation would be. I wonder if we can change it to look at the Europa Conference and TNS. As Bulkley gets the ball on the left. And that's the problem now. That draw's got me so excited. As Tom Jones, off the bench in style in the first leg. And doing exactly the same away in France. Brilliant ball in from Yesden Weaver. And Tom Jones takes advantage. Stunning performance so far. Very different tactic for Bordeaux, which isn't working out. Can we get the Europa Conference on? They've given us the hope. But let's cross our fingers. We can see the TNS score there. I hope it's up to date and accurate. Or I could be getting very excited at 0-0 for nothing. Because 0-0... takes them through. Away goal still counting in FM21. As Whittaker gets the ball in. Scored 2 in the first leg. And again here. Kyo Bulkley, the provider. It's exceptional play. and a hat-trick over the two legs. Not bad for a defender. Brilliant work, and TNS are still clinging on as well. If they get that result, it's gone. I was going to say if they get the result, probably better than anything we've achieved so far. But Mainz are 1-0 up from the penalty spot. Unfortunately, it's just about over. A brilliant display though for us over the two legs. It's 7-1 on aggregate now. We've got the away goals advantage too. And we're playing full of confidence. We look absolutely fabulous. As Tom Jones surges down the right hand side. Gets towards the byline. Takes on his man. Full of confidence. Full of vigour. His cross weirdly deflects into the post. The keeper was caught in no man's land. It comes out on Kane Waters, cool as you like. Brings it down, slides it in. No hesitation whatsoever. Plenty of that from the defenders though. Ball in from Gomez again. We know they've got a threat from corner kicks. But Wattiel heads over. We get away with one there. Just got to be careful defensively. And don't forget, in the other game, if TNS equalise, they're still through on away goals. So it's a long ball forward from Bordeaux. Only finds Jerome Kelly, who starts again with Simancas. Almost as impressive as Shakhtar a couple of years ago. And of course, we can start discussing the big story now. We have never been past the last 16 of the Europa League. Every time we get a big English side or Porto, and we just can't hack it. So let's see what happens this year, because we certainly look in better shape. Tom Jones with a ridiculous volley from the edge of the box. It's a great ball in from McDonald again. And it's 4-0 at the break, 9-1 on aggregate. The perfect night at the office in France. We're going to tell the lads to keep it up. We can't ask for much more. And it becomes who do we rest now? It's a lovely position to be in Europe. Keep your eyes on TNS though. They're only one goal away. As Bulkley gets it on the left with Weaver. Goes back to halfway for Jerome Kelly. Out to the right hand side for McDonald. Again got time to put those crosses in. And actually Bordeaux levelling up with us and going more central has worked right into our hands. Because our fullbacks have been utterly deadly so far. Bulkley's delivered from out wide too from set pieces. Where the fullbacks have been able to win opportunities. And it's just ended up being a really easy tie for us. Which we did think before the tie it might be. But of course that early goal did cause us a few scares. As Gomez back heel on the right. It leads to a cross which is headed away by Jerome Kelly. And look at the extra physicality there. Tom Jones first to it. He's 20 yards ahead. And Lloyd Golden. Oh my words. He has been so quiet in this tie. No goals in the first leg. No goals and a poor performance for the first 50 minutes here. But that is absolutely filthy. What a chip from Lloyd Golden. Almost up there with Carlton Morris from the head coach this year. That's something very special. Let's go and give a few of these lads a rest. Bulkley's going to be one of them. He'll be replaced by Strom, the youngster. I might do the same with McWilliams, you know. Bring off Reyes for a rest. And then Morgan on for Kai McDonald. They're key players. Let's give them a breather. It's a luxury position to be in here. 5-0 on the night. 10-0 on aggregate. Now come on TNS. An equaliser and you're about to make Welsh football in history. With 5 minutes to go, we're keeping our fingers crossed, but I don't think it's coming. Oh, they've done it! 91st minute! TNS have scored. It's Norman again. Oh, I hope they've held on for that. That's utterly ridiculous. I didn't think it could get any better. Have TNS just made the last 16? I think they have. Never before has a side cheered on their rivals like that. I'm pretty sure that 91st minute equaliser was not answered by anything else. And if so, we're about to have history. 2 teams in the last 16 of European competitions. For their first ever group stage campaign, TNS, it's been a ridiculous effort. Let's have a look at them. I'm sure they did. They did! And that, UEFA, is why you don't get rid of away goals. Because next year, that would have gone to extra time and Mainz probably would have won it. Let's go and have a look at the stats for this match. Mainz just about edged it again. Not utter dominance though. Have they got their last 16 opponent yet? They haven't. When will they find that out? And why hasn't it been played? Why has it not been decided who they've got? It's drawn on the 2nd. Okay, let's skip ahead to later in the day. We haven't got our draw yet either actually. So last 16 draw to finish off. And there's 2 competitions and 2 sides we've got to look forward to. Let's go and praise Tom Jones and we'll be back in a second. I'm too excited. It's a very weird situation. I'm almost less excited for our draw than TNS's, but we're on course for a perfect league season for the first time in our 15th year. And Porto are still in there. They're still in there. The side that so often cost us. Newcastle have beaten us before. Arsenal are a massive side. Let's see who we get. Just want to avoid the big boys. Napoli first out. St Etienne are gone already. Ajax. Copenhagen are gone already. Porto. At least we haven't drawn them. Now can we avoid the English sides? West Ham are gone. Galatasaray draw Arsenal. Don't be Newcastle again. It's not Sevilla. So it's Valencia, Lazio or Newcastle. Now remember, we got out of the Champions League group last season when Lazio were in there. I wouldn't mind facing them. The other two are definitely the harder. Looking at the coefficient as well. But I would assume based on that, we're going to get one of the top two. Lazio are out first. Please be Bangor City. It's Valencia, which means we draw Newcastle. I think the last team to knock us out of the Europa League, if I remember rightly. It's going to be an incredibly hard game. I wouldn't expect us to get the result. And to be honest, the Premier League teams are the ones that can stop us at the moment. And we've got it yet again with Newcastle United. Let's go and have a look at the Europa Conference draw though. Because TNS are about to have a massive game. We've got our match moved to Sunday next weekend. It's going to be the lowest quality match you'll see between us two sides. Just youth players and backups galore. Let's skip ahead and see who they've got. TNS have drawn Anderlecht. Now, I don't know how good they're going to be. 3.5 star. Scott Grutterex is their star player. Oh dear. They might be out. He is exceptional. And in fact, he's someone I'd quite like to sign, to be honest. But we can't do that just yet. Let's have a look at the rest of their squad. So not quite the same as the Bordeaux side we've come up against. They've got a lot of players in their prime. A lot of Belgian stars. And a lot of slightly younger ones as well. I mean, look at him for a striker. Van Acker. In fact, we've scouted him already. He looks excellent. TNS are going to be out. But an incredible effort regardless to get to the last 16. They beat a Mainz over 2 legs. 2 draws adds to the coefficient as well. We've managed to get through plain sailing in ours. And we will be back to see if for the first time we can beat an English side over 2 legs. Just a week's time, it'll be Newcastle United. If you're looking forward to it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content. But TNS are really joining us as a big boy this year. And with next season, it's getting the extra team in Europe, the extra team in the Champions League and Europa League. If we can get 3 or 4 to the group stages, this save is about to have liftoff. It could be a very fun last few years. Please do check out the other stuff in the eye above in the meantime. The podcast channel, the Twitch channel for regular live streams. There's so much for us to look forward to this season. But I can't be much happier than I am now. Newcastle United may continue the last 16 curse next. But the fact TNS are there with us is utterly ridiculous. I'll see you next time.